Did we get some things wrong? I don't think we did too much wrong. I think probably the earlier experience in Vietnam, there are some examples of where things may have been imposed on people, where maybe the support wasn't there. And I'll give you an example: the Southern Cross windmills, which are good for water pumps, and you can put them up, and the engineers can put them up. But if there's no backup in terms of supplying parts to maintain the things and teaching people how to maintain them, pretty soon they fall into disrepair, or somebody knocks off the tap and so all you have is a windmill pumping water into the street or onto the bare ground. So some of those things, there were some weaknesses in that, in providing the backup support, I suppose. Or maybe not having the infrastructure, the local service infrastructure to be able to maintain those sorts of things. But once again, I mean, we're in a war zone, so some of those things just weren't available. And it's probably hard enough trying to help an underdeveloped country without the war going around, but that just added a dimension of complexity which made it more difficult to make achievements, I think. But in terms of the sort of advice that we gave them, it was just really suggestions about what could be done and where and things like that. And it might be that we might go to a sort of a remote village and they might say as a local community that they reckon they need a windmill or something like that, and our guys might investigate that a bit further and find the windmill they've already got only pumps water for part of the year, and so it dries up for part of the year. So you might question whether another windmill is going to do it, or whether there's a relocation issue or something like that. So you might start to look at some of those sorts of issues. But by and large, I think the chicken project, I think, had mixed success in as much that there was a problem with marketing the chickens after you grow the things, and there's probably a little bit of corruption got into it as well. Now I don't know, I don't, but I do remember there being discussions about we're growing some chickens, and what are you going to do with them once you've grown them, sort of thing. And this comes back to Westerners coming into a foreign culture, trying to, in the best will in the world, to help, but not understanding the cultural and the social context that you're going into. And so I think that was where the Chinese guys helped much more with that. Now, I don't think that they were there in the early days of the agricultural stuff, and probably had they been, there might have been probably a shift in thinking a little bit. But from what I understand, when the Civil Affairs Unit started in '67, the emphasis mainly on helping with infrastructure, building schools and schoolhouses and things like that. So the agriculture really didn't get much of a emphasis until later, when I think there was an expectation that maybe this is a way to help the local people and win a bit of support over from the locals by helping in that way.